All right, I'm going to give you guys a perfect example of what I mean when I say look for the loopholes in their words, and how they're magicians that use sneaky magicians tricks. So the suspects in this network, some of the men that I've been talking about, they use sneaky magicians tricks to get off topic, to answer a question without really answering it. So right here we have Richard Hart. He is the creator, founder of Hex. The Hex token is a cryptocurrency, and of Pulse Chain, and of PulseX, and I believe there's an incentive token and all that. So he just launched his big Pulse Chain network, cryptocurrency network that is, from what I hear, just basically a copycatting of ETH, the ETH network. So right here, let's get into it. I'm going to play a little bit of this video. I'm not going to play the whole video. It's only like 2 minutes, and it's just a clip of being posted by RH Max on YouTube. And it's a clip of Richard Hart answering, pretending to answer a question that's being sent to him. He probably set this entire thing up. He probably knew that question was coming in, is what I mean by that. Asking him what is the origin of the name Hex for his token. His first cryptocurrency token is called Hex, H-E-X, right there in the title. And he proceeds to not answer that question. And I'll play a little bit for you, and then I will continue to comment.
Tell us the story of the Hex brand. Why is the best cryptocurrency of the world called Hex? The story's funny. Originally, it was called Bitcoin Hex because we were giving free coins to Bitcoiners. And then they complained so loudly, "You're stealing the brand! You're stealing the brand!" Even though you've got Linux Mint, Red Hat Linux, Ubuntu Linux. You're like, hey, it's actually normal that forks... Anyway, so I'm like, yeah, well, I don't want the brand. Hex is a vastly better brand name than Bitcoin compound name copied like shit by everyone else.
All right, so I'm going to leave it there. So a few things. You can continue to watch the video if you want. You pull it up on YouTube. He does not get into the actual origin of Hex. He just picks it up at the point where he had already named his token. Half of it was named Hex. He named it Bitcoin Hex. And then he says that it's named Hex because everyone was complaining I was trying to, steal the Bitcoin brand because it was called Bitcoin Hex. So he's just talking about why he dropped off the Bitcoin part of the name Bitcoin Hex and just left it at Hex. He is not explaining why he decided on the name Hex at all, except to maybe say like, oh, well, it's simple. You don't have to spell it. There's definitely more to it than that. There's more of a reason than that for why he named the token Hex, H-E-X, okay? Why not Fluffy Pants? Why not Kitten Farts? Why, he could have named it an infinite number of things. So many different names his token could have had. He chose Hex. And then he attached it to Bitcoin and called Bitcoin Hex. And then some people complained about that, and he used that as an excuse to drop Bitcoin off the title and just called it Hex. Well, why? What started you on Hex to begin with, Richard? So he used a fancy magician's trick to answer a question, to not really answer a question without really answering it. And anybody who's not really paying attention to that won't realize it. Anyone who's not really looking closer is going to think that the question was answered satisfactorily, and it wasn't at all. A. B. Then note he uses it as a way, as he pretty quickly starts to segue into pumping up the Hex token, talking about how unique and spectacular it is. He is basically a stage mom. He shines through his child. His child is his creation, the Hex token. So he just can't get enough of going, like, it's just so amazing. And so am I, by the way, as I mentioned, because I made it. He's every bit that, like, annoying biatchy standing off to the side of the stage and like mouthing the words that her poor daughter is having to say, that she made her recite over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. While the little girl's going like, Mommy, I don't want to do this. Hush, we're going to be superstars, you know, like, Richard, please don't have kids. Please don't do it. Don't have kids. Just avoid spreading your seed. Yes, you're very unique. We need 0 more of you. Absolutely 0 more. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys I saw this and I was like, oh, perfect example. At first, when I saw the title, I was like, oh, is he actually going to give us a straight answer about where the title of his token comes from? Is he going to get into the etymology behind it and how it relates to the god Kronos, also known as Saturn? Saturn, by the way, guys, has on one of its poles has a almost like a perfect hexagon shape, which is the same shape as the logo for Richard Hart's token, and his token's called Hex, and his other tokens, Pulse Chain, also has a hexagon shape. It's, you know, like the shape of a bee comb, the 6-sided shape. So actually, his token relates to 6 and Hex and Saturn and Kronos and death and time and wasting time. Taking time, stealing time, and really Kronos was known for eating his own children. So it's the cautionary tale of the parent stealing time, like the older generation stealing time from the future, from the younger generations. So you keep that in mind. The cautionary tale of Kronos is the cautionary tale of the older generations stealing time from younger generations. Keep that in mind when you consider that Richard Hart is trying to set up this whole new crypto digital currency ecosystem. I've seen this trick used, this magician's trick, this sleight of hand. It's called spin doctoring. It's called it's being a spin doctor. It's spinning what you say and how you say it. It's spinning like the reframing the topic of conversation, or reframing how you answer a question, so that you can avoid looking bad. There are people, like lots of famous people, hire spin doctors. They hire people to basically stand off to the side and coach them on how to handle certain topics that might come up, how they should answer them, so on and so forth. So yeah, that's what Richard Hart is doing here. He's being a cutesy little magician with his little magician's cape, and he's spin doctoring, and he's saying, look over here at the pretty blonde and not over here at the truth of what I'm doing. And don't ask me any more questions about why I really named my token Hex. Like, guys, dig deeper. Grill him. Hold his feet to the fucking fire. Dudes, come on. Anyway. All right, I'm going to end this one.